Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Sell More Book Show, episode 496. I'm Brian Cohen from Best Page Forward, joined by Claire Taylor from FFS Media, who's in a hotel because you're almost always the one who's in a hotel during these because you're so in demand, Claire. Everyone always wants you at these conferences.
I mean, if there's one thing you should know about me, it's that I'm in hotels a lot. That's the only thing you need to know about me.
Yep. If this is your first ever show.
Claire lives in hotels.
Claire lives in hotels, yes.
Yeah. So I'm up in Minneapolis at the Mall of America this week and chatting with people about Enneagram. I just gave a 2-hour talk on it and answering some questions. There was a break in between, right? But I am all good on talking about Enneagram for a while.
Good. Well, we have 7 questions about the Enneagram today, so.
Perfect. Let's do it.
Good. But I'm glad you're out there. I'm glad you're talking to people and getting them to understand a little bit more about themselves, their characters, their author business. You're doing good, and you are in demand, whether or not you play it off with a joke.
Yeah, today's talk was a little bit. It felt a little bit like an attack to everyone. So I'm like, well, if I'm going to do it, it's going to be people. Like if you're showing up to BFA Con to listen to Becca talk strengths, you already kind of like the abuse, right? Like that's the. That's the group. So yeah, but it's been really nice, and it's nice and cool in Minnesota, so that's change.
Nice. Well, good. I'm glad you're out there and having a good time, and we'll try to keep it short so that you can rest.
Okay. I mean, yeah, these shows are just so taxing for me. We really need to
I know.
Make sure that I don't overdo it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I did want to mention, because you're out there doing great stuff, I did want to mention I've been the last few months training up my team at my author ad agency, and we are definitely looking for a couple people who want to hand off their ads who are earning over $6,000 a month in royalties or higher. So not for everybody, because we don't believe in just taking anybody's money. We want to actually know that we can help somebody if we run their ads. And we're looking for a couple of authors to fill up some spots with one of our new team members. And so just shoot me an email at brian@sellingforauthors.com. Let us know you might be interested, because my team works really hard. And I was just thinking about this, like, it's tough because I have the blurb team and the ad agency team and author ad school folks. And it's like, I want them all to be working all the time. So it sometimes feels like I'm promoting a lot, but it doesn't, to me, it's like, it's not really self-promotion, because I just want my team to be really busy and for them to keep really working, because it's freelance. Freelance is hard. I've been freelancing since 2010 or so, or 2007, really, going to think about it. And it's like, yeah, I want these people to have consistent work. And so if you know somebody or you are somebody, drop us a line, brian@sellingforauthors.com.
Awesome. Oh, and I should mention that
yes.
I have the Liberated Writer course starting on Monday of next week. So this airs, and then the next week, right? I'm getting my dates confused, but October 16th, the course starts. So this is your last chance to enroll.
That's right. Yeah.
And I hope to see you there. That's it. That's all. That's my pitch.
Liberatedwriter.com.
Yes.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Cool. And there could be some delays in this episode. I honestly think Claire's hotel internet is acting better than mine today. So we'll I blame myself for all of this. But it's okay. It's worth it. It's worth our delayed laugh reactions, right?
Yeah, we're just slow today. It's all right, you know.
We're just we just need more coffee. Cool. All right. Well, let's do previous week's question. When was the last time you changed your categories, and do you think you'll check on a more regular basis now? Caribou Buziak said Amazon keeps changing them to whatever rando category strikes them, and I've had to write in so many times to change it back to what I want. My rank dips whenever theirs are in effect. So annoying. Sorry you're dealing with that, Caribou. You aren't the only one, though, but I don't know if that makes you feel better.
Regina Kammer said, a romance author, said, I change my categories only when I upload a new file. For example, when I update back matter or when I change a price. Since Amazon's recent transition to only 3 categories, I have uploaded 4 revised files. 3 of those books ended up in hoped for and expected categories. 1 book ended up in an inappropriate category. Amazon's customer service said they couldn't do anything about it. I am currently strategizing about what I can do with my metadata to minimize the impact of Amazon's weird category placement for this book.
Sorry you're dealing with that, Regina. And Sean Stevenson said, I changed my categories back in July and have been happy with where they are. Hey, a success story, Claire. Can you believe it?
No, I think it's lies. No, just kidding. I'm sure it's
lies.
True.
No.
Sean Stevenson.
Yeah. Good. 2 truths and a lie. And we are always able to get your answers on the show, but only when you send them in, either via the Sell More Book Show After Party Facebook group or in the comment section for sellmorebookshow.com. All right, Claire, we're ready for the top story. Are you ready?
Yes, Brian.
Okay, wonderful. Cool. Here we go. Ship Your Pants novel. Amazon KDP has launched a new feature for print books, which allows you to schedule their release date in advance. Amazon wants to make it clear this is not the same as a pre-order, which is available for ebooks only. Readers will not be able to pre-order your print version nor review it. In fact, the book will not show on Amazon until the publication date. Despite these limitations, a scheduled release date has a few benefits. One is having the book validated and processed in advance. This helps to ensure that your launch will go as scheduled versus risking a last-minute rejection or a delay in publishing due to Amazon backlog on your publishing date. Secondly, authors will be able to order author copies in advance of publication. You can schedule a release 5 to 90 days in advance, and your book will be available for customers to see and purchase on that date. Note that it's important to have your final version uploaded and your sales page completed 5 days before the selected publication date. You will not be able to update your manuscript file or edit book details, change the release date, or order author copies in the last 5 days. So, Claire, hey, this seems like it could be a helpful feature for, especially if you've got a lot of different books that you're publishing. Being able to schedule in advance, I'm sure, has been requested. What do you think about this whole thing?
I don't know what to think of it. I think it would have been really nice if you could put it up for pre-order like that, so that, because that's a lot of it, like, you want to get those reviews. I publish through Ingram Spark with all my new stuff, and they already have this feature. So I think Amazon is creating this to kind of compete with that, because it is really useful to, be able to schedule things in advance, because launch day can have so many twists and turns that you don't want to also be having to remember all these basic steps. So this is useful, I suppose. I don't know that this is what the majority of authors have been calling for from Amazon, but it's a fun little trick. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, fun little trick. It solves a couple of tiny problems when massive problems still exist. I'm seeing all sorts of people talking on my feed this week about sales being down significantly while rank doesn't seem to be impacted. And that seems a bigger problem than the ordering author copies earlier. And so I think that Amazon is trying to make changes to improve the author experience while not necessarily knowing what to do about the things that are actually impacting the author experience in a bigger way.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So we got some hot potatoes of wisdom here, Claire. What other changes, speaking of, some of the bigger problems to be solved, what other changes should Amazon make to specifically KDP print?
Right. So I don't think that KDP print is really where people are focusing their attention on the problems with Amazon.
Yeah.
But there are definitely some things that Amazon could look at. And of course, this is going to be like who they contract out to. But for print on demand, some of the quality of the print books is inconsistent or consistently not good. I got an order of 30 books from KDP Print that all had glue all over the spine. And so I still have those because I don't know what to do with them, and I didn't send them back in time. I don't know. Maybe I'll give them out for free. We'll see. But I think that puts authors in kind of a tight spot when the major print on demand places don't have consistent quality. And, obviously there's a bottleneck because there's just not enough print on demand locations available right now for all the books that people want.
Right.
But I think that focusing on some of that might be where Amazon can make some good changes with KDP Print.
Yeah, I got to agree on the quality angle. I mean, your glue story is not the only story I've heard.
Right. That's not the only story I've experienced either.
Yeah, samesies. But yeah.
All right, Brian. Here's a hot potato for you. How will the new schedule release date for KDP Print change how you launch?
So when this feature came out, I for KDP being allowing you to or get all your author copies ordered early and your book uploaded earlier, this impacted me in zero ways. This is not something that will change my releasing at all. I definitely could see myself getting the paperback ready earlier and having that uploaded, which is nice. It saves me having to do it the day that it's going to be released or 3 days before it's going to be released. So it allows a little bit of earlier prep, but that's it. I think that if KDP wanted to really do something here, fix that quality on those print books.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. I hear something in the background. Oh, man. It's DJ Lightning. So, Claire, we got 5 questions here. We're going to do it in lightning fashion. Amazon has limited the number of books that can be uploaded per day to 3, according to PC Magazine. Will this stem the flow of AI-generated books being published, or just annoy authors who are trying to upload 3 formats of the same book when publishing?
Okay, so is this going to, is the max 3 uploads per day on KDP going to annoy authors or stem the flow of AI? I think it's going to do both. But we also know that, like, if someone's going to game the system, they're going to find a way to game the system. So it's just, you just put sort of a dam in one place in the river, and then the water's going to flow around it if you don't, do it correctly. If you're just saying, like, nope, I'm going to put a big rock here. Well, the water's going to flow around it. So I don't know how long this limiting will last. I think it's nice that they are at least making an effort to stem the flow of this. But it is definitely, it's it's definitely annoying authors, but there's this point that certain people reach where I don't know if you've ever felt this way about someone, Brian, but they're everything they do annoys you so much that they can no longer do right. That you just are so past, you're past the point of caring about them. You're just done with it. And I think that that's where some of the authors who have been the most vocal about this are with anything Amazon does. They're just over it, right?
Yeah.
And it's like when you're so annoyed with someone that even just the way they breathe makes you upset. So I don't know that this is going to be a big problem for a lot of authors, but I think there are some authors who are kind of at that point with Amazon and are making a big deal about this. But there's, also going to be a few that this is genuinely a problem for them if they are, uploading different versions of the book or different editions, that sort of thing.
Right. Yeah, it'll take some extra planning. I love the way you explained this, by the way. The parallel between Amazon and a person you can't stand anymore is just so perfect for a lot of authors. Absolutely feel that way. So well done, Claire, I must say.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You are so welcome.
All right, Brian. How early in the writing or publishing process should you know your target audience?
I think the second you are going to start writing or drafting or outlining a book, you should have already done some market research. You should already understand your target market. And if you don't, you should go and, or you can, there's no shoulds, but you can go and hang out where the readers are. You can go and do some reading yourself and learn the market. A long time ago, an author said in one of my conferences, hey, it's kind of like you're getting paid to read when you're reading to do research. And it's like, absolutely. You're getting paid to read. You're getting paid to do things that you've loved doing since you were a kid. And so you got to go do those things or else you're not going to be paid as much.
Yeah. That's a great advice. I like to put market research reading in my daily schedule.
Ooh.
As work hours.
Yes.
I know.
Love it.
It's work. You have to take it as if it's work. Just because it's fun doesn't mean it's not work. Some people make that mistake. And you don't need to, it's not like you need to work 40 hours a week or whatever we consider full time as a writer. And then on top of that, use all your free time doing market research, right? So you can make that decision of how much time you want and attention you want all of this to give. But I love that. Yes. And Brian, I just want to point out, because I'm on this Enneagram kick, this is a gift of the 3, is being able to figure out who this is for.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
A lot of types struggle with that, a lot of types. And so it's like, that's why you're so good at it, Brian, because you just can see who is this for, and you have that vision from the start.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Man, this turned into such a complimentary episode. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Claire, what can an author do today if they didn't niche down far enough before writing their book?
Okay. So if you haven't niched to the point where your book is very clearly for a particular group, and niching is a sort of strategic tactic for book marketing. If you haven't niched down yet and you haven't published, you can niche down a little bit more in the manuscript. You can adjust the manuscript. If you've already published and you're like, I can't go back to that, you can write another book. Right? It's okay. It benefits you as the author to become okay with the concept that not every book is a winner, and not every book can or even necessarily should be turned into something else, right? Some books, you just have to write them. You're like, I know this, I have to write it, I have to get it out. I think it's going to be important to some people. I don't really know how to market it. I can do it anyway. You can make that decision. So if you haven't niched down enough and you're struggling to find your audience, or it's too broad of an audience, you can't really pin it down, you can just learn from that and do it differently the next book.
Love it. Love it. Good advice.
All right, Brian, how can authors who use or partner with ghostwriters avoid the wrath of the fans?
So this was in response to a story. Apparently, Bobby Millie Brown's readers or fans didn't like that Millie Bobby Brown, used a ghostwriter. Look, it is what it is. I mean, don't get mad at her. Every celebrity does this. They use ghostwriters. And that doesn't mean it's not their story. It doesn't mean that they didn't contribute to it. It just means that someone is a really good writer and maybe that celebrity is not. So if you partner with a ghostwriter or you're working with a ghostwriter in some way, I think you can be transparent about it from the beginning. And this is where like having a co-writer or something is really nice to be able to say, because if you didn't write it, but your name is on there as the author and people find out about it, they're not going to be happy. But if you decide, I'm going to share this credit, I am going, and I know not every publisher would go for that sort of thing, but if you're going to share this credit, that can help deflect some of that potential wrath that would follow. I have always kind of tried to err on the side of giving more credit than I give to myself on things. And that has been really helpful because it means that people who should have gotten the credit, they feel good about it. But then it also doesn't make it seem like, oh, I'm the great and powerful Oz. It's stupid. And I think that the easiest solution is to actually credit people.
Oh, I like that. Yep.
Cool.
Honesty, transparency, what?
I know, so weird. So weird. Claire, to finish us off on this ghostwriting kick, do you feel like ghostwriting has become more or less acceptable over recent times?
Oh, man. I think the sentiments around ghostwriting have changed recently. I think it's partially because the attention on ghostwriting has changed. Ghostwriters are not the most threatening thing that other authors see in the waters, circling in the waters right now. So in that way, I feel like ghostwriters and people who use ghostwriters can kind of take a sigh of relief, because it's like, oh, don't worry, there's something even more scary, which shall not be named. I'm sure, we've already talked about it, but, that authors can fear. But I don't know. I mean, I think what you said about transparency with ghostwriting is so important because ultimately this strength that we have as authors that can never be taken by AI is that someone knows there's a person on the other side of the words. Yeah. The reader is reading it and knowing there's a person whose heart and, mind are going into this and telling this story. And that is a really important connection. And so if they think they're connecting with one person, it turns out they're connecting with someone else, that can feel like that betrayal. So I think what you said about that makes it a little bit more acceptable. And then, of course, not everyone who has a good story to tell is a good storyteller. So I think that it's important to remember that as well. And that, having people do things and help you with things that you struggle with is not necessarily shameful.
Right.
So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It only gets people angry when they feel like they've been tricked.
Right. No one likes being tricked.
Nobody likes being tricked.
Except an audience of a magician.
Yes. Those are the only people who enjoy being tricked. Claire, we need a question of the week for today. We talked about the KDP print. We talked about this limiting of 3. We talked about the market research and ghostwriters. So many landmines. Which one do we want to step on?
Which to step on.
Yeah.
Let's see. I don't know. Maybe the KDP print, something with KDP print, because I feel like maybe I'm not seeing the use of it.
Ooh, what if we asked the question, what other changes should Amazon make to KDP print to our wonderful audience?
Yes, I love that.
Awesome, cool. So, what other changes should Amazon make to KDP print? And you, because Claire doesn't have her microphone with her, you got to hear the wonderful clickety clack Foley.
Sorry.
Tip, 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 tip. It was actually Claire tap dancing in her room.
I love the question of the week so much. I gotta tap dance
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah. But you can answer the question of the week over at sellmorebookshow.com or in the comment section in the Sell More Book Show After Party Facebook group, which is not for posting links to your books. Some joker was posting that today, and it was flagged by our community. So good work, community.
Yeah, keep flagging.
Keep flagging. Keep the flag flying. Claire, liberatedwriter.com. Course starts on Monday, yes?
Yes.
Wonderful.
Correct.
Wonderful. And my challenge starts today. I don't know why I forgot to talk about it, but, authorsadvertise.com. We've got about 4,200 people registered, so come on down. Join the fun last challenge of 2023.
Right.
Whoop, whoop. Any last words of wisdom, Claire, as you speak from a very wise conference in Minnesota?
Do good things, write books.
Ooh, do good things, write books.
I don't know. That was really forcing it, I think. That was scraping from the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah, I think so too.
All out of wisdom, y'all.
So don't scrape the bottom of the barrel like Claire or tap dance.
No, definitely tap
Oh,
dance.
okay, definitely tap dance. Okay, there's the wisdom. I think that's good.
I hope you tap dance. That's a great song.
That was one of my favorites too, growing up. Awesome. Well, for Claire, I'm Brian. Have a great week of book selling, everybody, and we will talk to you next week for episode 497. Bye.